story. This isn't a time of peace. It's against the principalities and the powers that are puppeteering the people. And we are in a position to see souls set free. This has been the ancient war cry throughout all the generations of the Hebrew nation. Rock, Chazak.
Taylor's got all her talking points.
All right.
Ready to go.
Yep.
Well, welcome to another episode of Battle Room Podcast. Oh, I'm sweating.
What's wrong, JP?
Nothing's wrong. So I guess we'll introduce and then we'll talk about the week and whatever. And so for the y'all that don't know, this is my lovely and scary wife, Amanda.
No, geez.
The infamous,
Yes.
The very infamous.
the one
That's
that we,
scary.
I live with you, bro. Turn
the
you
one
up a
we
little
talk
bit.
about every episode.
Mhm.
So however y'all want to work that out.
So this is my wife Taylor, my wonderful bride.
Mhm. Great
Bet
mama
you-
to 2 babies.
Yep.
That's
Thank you. I needed the assist.
Yeah.
Hey, don't
You-
worry over there. It's Taylor.
You allow her to put your feet on the dash now.
I do not do that.
That's
Right or wrong, it's never happened again.
Oh, gee.
We'll get back to it later on in the episode. Go ahead.
For some reason, you guys seem a little nervous today. Not
Who,
me.
me?
I ain't nervous.
No, this is different without headphones. I will say
It is.
Yeah, so
It is.
It's definitely
you
different.
have to lean closer.
It makes me worry on how we're coming in.
Yeah, there you go. You can turn it toward you.
Yeah, I'll turn it a little bit. So this is my wife, Amy, and she is super excited about being here on today's episode.
Mine
Look,
also.
look at all the preparation that she's done. So very, very looking forward to what you ladies have to say.
I'm actually surprised because when I was sending out little text message and everything, nobody was responding to me. And I'm like, what's going on? And then Amy has all this up. So I feel good. I feel good.
There was crickets for a reason.
Uh-huh.
All right. So this is the well anticipated episode with our wives. Yay. I don't know what we're gonna call it. We joked around and we were gonna call it Amanda Unleashed. Because you were like, put me in front of the mic, put me in, coach.
I'm not going to be unleashed. Best
No.
behavior here.
No, she
Well,
can't. She
well,
can't.
I need to-
Yeah,
Yeah, she did.
she gets to come up with the title for the episode.
That's fine. That's why I said I don't know what we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
When you were gonna be out, she's like, put me in, coach.
Yep. I'm excited.
So
Yeah, I hate I was not able to be in the last episode, but you were in good hands. JJ did an amazing
he
job.
did a
He did.
phenomenal
Yeah, he did.
job.
Proud of him.
Yep. So
I think you're more nervous than I am. Why are you
I'm not
looking at me
nervous.
weird?
I'm just looking at you, bro.
Okay.
I ain't nervous.
All right. Hey, JP, how'd your week go?
My week went all right. Went back to being an adult this week. Had to work.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty busy. Didn't do a whole lot this week, did we?
Mm-mm.
We went and ate sushi together.
Mm.
We did have a
Date night.
night. Yeah, it was a date night.
Are you saying it wasn't a date night?
It
Before and
wasn't a
after?
date.
Oh, that's
It was a
right.
date night.
We don't have date dates after.
I was wondering if you heard.
I heard
me.
So you can tune into our biblical husband episode
Listeners
to,
will understand what that means.
yeah, to find out about the day dates.
Dates.
And then
Sushi and nose.
what did we do Friday? We didn't do much Friday. Got up, went with Peef, Mark Ross, Cole, and Chloe. We went hunting and we ate breakfast together. You can't handle it.
I
Can
can't
you?
handle it. I can't. It's too weird.
Well, I'm trying to talk not so loud. We went hunting and we ate breakfast, and then this morning went hunting again with Michael and them and did breakfast. And how was your week, my love?
Well, I had a very exciting week. It
Yeah.
started off last Saturday.
Mm.
I had to do some running around in Jackson while JP was off hunting, and I went to the mall. And I had this sweatshirt on.
Oh yeah.
And as I was passing men, they're like making comments, putting their fingers out. I'm like, what is going on? And so I texted my family in the group message and I'm like, what has happened in Indiana this week? And they're like, my uncle's like, what are you living under a rock? Indiana beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So they're going. So, anyways, I'm from Northwest Indiana. So, although I'm a Notre Dame fan, bleed green and gold,
Were you in Jackson or Memphis?
I was in Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
she didn't get shot, so you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, they from what I hear, played a good game the other night. JP wouldn't let me watch it. So,
Whoa, 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 whoa! It's not that I wouldn't let her.
The Alabama game?
No, the IU and Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
6-22.
here's the thing. We really don't have, we stream. And it had been 30, 45 minutes of her trying to do that. And I was ready to go sleep.
No. So,
It was a good
anyways,
game. It was
Yeah.
a good game.
Hey, you can go on YouTube and watch the highlights.
That's probably what I'll do.
You know what? Why don't you just watch them destroy Miami?
That's true.
That's probably what's going to happen. Who would have thought that Indiana had a good football team?
Man.
I mean, they're known for basketball, but for
Mhm.
football,
No, I love the coach already. For Indiana,
Mm.
these looks he gives.
Oh, I
like
haven't
like
seen him.
like it doesn't matter what the team does. It looks like he's totally disgusted. Everything.
It does.
Yeah, he's tough. He's bad to the bone.
So, Stanton, how are you and Taylor's week?
It was good. Let's see. I gotta remember what the week was like.
I don't know. It was
I don't
like,
know,
it was
it's
like
like-
you know something they don't know.
No, I'm
No,
not moving it along.
because I asked him, he's gonna ask us.
Uh-huh.
It was a normal week. Like you said, I already been at work through the holidays at some point, so I just went back for a full week this week and just running around normal errands, getting stuff together. Taylor and I had to prep for a talk, if you will, for Crossroads. Crossroads is a faith walk basically for younger teenagers, 15 through 20. And we had to prep for that, and that was a joy.
My husband procrastinated a whole lot.
Hey, you see what Taylor did there when you do the same thing?
Oh, okay. What about you, darling? Did you procrastinate any?
We're not
I didn't say
We're not
blame
talking
her.
about me right now.
Yeah, okay.
What I meant
This
was,
is y'all's week.
yeah, what I meant was lean into the mic. Don't accuse her.
yeah, yeah.
We have me on now. Just kidding. No, it was a week. I did procrastinate some. I mean, not necessarily intentionally, just so many other things I
You
can
got to
do
lean
other
into the
than.
mic, bro. There you go.
Yes, I did procrastinate some. Not intentionally. I just had a lot of things on my mind, everything else going on in the world, other errands to run, and I just kind of put that as a higher priority than writing out some testimony.
Taylor's face says different. Hey, David,
Uh,
that was your name this week.
how's our week, babe?
Pretty uneventful for me.
Yeah. What did we do together this week?
You were out of town from
Story of
Tuesday
his life.
till Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was out of town traveling. Yeah, left Tuesday morning, got back Friday night. Was in Baltimore for work. It's trade show season, so I was in
And
Baltimore.
he's leaving again in the morning.
Yeah, so I got home at a decent hour. I got home at 6:30 Friday night, and so I'll be leaving about 6:30 in the morning.
Any interesting airport experiences?
I don't think I had anything exciting in the airport happen. The only thing that happened, like that, was podcast worthy. Good job, by the way. You could host this thing, Boss.
She's going to.
Bossette. So yeah, every night. So first off, I booked my hotel late, so I was at a completely different hotel. I got two stories, don't I? I got two. I stayed at a different hotel from everybody else. So everybody booked. They got the Hilton right beside the convention center. I'm at the Lord Baltimore, like 3 blocks away, and so check-in's usually pretty simple. But she was on her computer forever, and I had to show her my confirmation number. I had to spell my name. It was almost like she couldn't find me. And then she gave me my key, went up to the ninth floor, went up to the room, and was just about to open the door, and I could hear something inside. And I listened, I could hear the TV on, and I was like, what is this? So I knocked on the door. Also, the TV cut off. I'm like, this isn't right. 903. Yes, 903. Dude comes to the door. He's like, can I help you? I said, room 903? He said, yeah. And I showed him my card, room 903. He said, what are we going to do about this? I said, I'm going to go back downstairs.
I'm gonna get a different room on there.
You got a double bed in there, so you're not over.
That's right. Looks like we're bunk buddies. Yeah, I didn't know him from Adam. I don't know who he was, but thankfully he came to the door with his pants on. Oh, so then I had to catch my own Uber to meet the rest of the team for dinner, and I don't know if y'all do Uber much, but it can be
it's
quite
sketchy.
entertaining. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get there. And so I got this guy, he barely spoke English. Now this is the guy that was doing praise and worship music on the radio in a different language.
Okay.
But there's certain words that you're just the same.
Yeah.
And so I heard like hallelujah and other things, and he was singing along. And then so we're in traffic downtown Baltimore, and then all of a sudden he makes a right turn, and I swear to you, I don't have proof of this. We're like on a bike path. Like it was like it was like a side street. There was nobody else around.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we went from traffic to the only car around. And the river, the bay, or what, the harbor's right there, and then we come out on the cul-de-sac onto a cul-de-sac, and then got to the hotel. So I was like, that's a first.
That's
a
your
first.
kinfolk.
That's
All right. Well, so David had mentioned the last episode, which was why is it important for us to have brotherhood, and throughout this process, Stanton and David and I have been wondering if and how you ladies benefit from us having that type of relationship. And so what I did was, I know some nudging that microphone over. So what I did was, I actually I was like, well, hey, look, you wanted this, y'all been requested. You're in charge of the outline. And at first, she wasn't too excited about it, but then she dove in like 2.5 seconds later, and
What do you mean she wasn't excited about it?
She's
I
like,
thought
this is-
she's been like chomping at the bit.
she's been chomping at the bits to get in front of this.
Well, I thought I was just going to rebuttal everything that you guys have been saying crazy and wrong all these past weeks. I didn't realize you were going to put me in a box that big.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
We got it. We're ready.
All right, so everybody, Amanda, you're in charge.
You know,
Take it
I'm a little
away.
scared. Just remember, I got a mute button right here.
That's fine. That's fine. So I just wanted to start off by saying a little bit of my background as to why y'all's relationship is important from my standpoint.
Go ahead. I'm not trying. Just go.
So, JP's been very open about being married previously. I too was also married previously. In my first marriage, there wasn't like accountability on either of our ends per se. We didn't have close knit friend group. Now I did have my best friend, but it's kind of like when you have your best friend's always going to be on your side. Like, like no matter what. She's Jamie's my
Good or bad.
good or bad. Like she's my ride or die. If I murdered somebody, she'd help me hide the body. No questions asked. We'll talk about it later, or may not ever talk about it. So coming from that, that's what makes this more important for me, that my husband has accountability partners, battle buddies, What other terms?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So before I get started, ladies, do you feel like, Taylor, that you benefit from Stanton having accountability partners?
Yes and no.
Okay, let me hear it. Why, yes.
Yes, because he definitely needs the accountability. But I mean, everybody needs accountability, not just my husband. And no, because sometimes it interferes with our time and time with our children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have them by myself Monday through Thursday because he is our sole provider. And I'm thankful that he does have a job that allows us for me to be able to stay home and raise our children. But there are times where I'm like, you can just stay home. You don't have to go socialize.
Right. Okay. Amy?
I would say yes. I mean, there are times I get a little jealous because maybe I feel like the guys know more than I do. I'll hear something from them and I'll be like, oh, he didn't tell me that.
Same.
But ultimately, yes, I think it helps in a lot of ways. It helps strengthen our marriage and sorry.
You got the headphones
She
on,
said
though.
sorry. You just getting you dirty look.
I definitely think it helps them become better men, and which ultimately strengthens our marriage.
So the things that he doesn't tell you about, is it like the silly things that upset you?
Yes.
Like what?
Do we have permission to talk?
Yes.
So I'll say this: if you're listening on Spotify, switch over to YouTube because I think that's really one you need to absolutely watch because you don't all these little things that are going on, you don't
I
realize.
was those subtle looks at women. I'm tapping those covers.
Trying to be
The nerd, I just
But I will say that listening to you guys on the podcast really means a lot to me because I'm getting to hear your hearts
Mhm.
and a lot of things that y'all don't just talk to us about.
so we've had my rebuttal
Mhm.
is no, but no, everything she said I've heard like we've had some serious discussions about how I'll say something to you guys and then we'll be at church and then it'll get back around to her and she'll look at so then we'll get home and she'll be like why am I finding this out from Stanton? Why am I finding this out from JP or JP told Amanda and Amanda told Amy and I forgot to. So that's just hey, okay, you're finding out I'm not perfect.
Although his
yeah.
hair today is on point.
Yes,
Yeah. It won't be after this.
The wife even snuck in the David Knuckles hair joke.
Got
But
big.
ladies,
But yeah, we do.
we all do that though.
Mhm.
I forget to tell her stuff that I tell y'all. And so now when I tell her stuff, I'm like, hey, just G13, because I don't know if they told her wives yet. So don't be like, well, hey, JP and them talk about whatever. Not that y'all tell me secrets. It's just stuff that, excuse me, that I even tell y'all. I don't think to
Well,
tell her.
yeah.
I mean, because I'm like, she don't care about this, but apparently y'all do care about it.
Yeah, I think that's David's thing too. He's like, well, I didn't think it really mattered. It was just
Well,
something minor.
Trivial.
Yeah, trivial.
Well, normally, I guess I would say in our conversations, it pops up like it's something silly about hunting or getting a truck stuck or this or that or another. But like when we're talking to y'all, like I guess in my mind, when I'm having a conversation with her, it's more deep. Like I'm thinking about like us and our family and so forth, not like, something stupid or silly that happened at work.
Right.
So
He has gotten better about after the podcast coming home and saying, I might need to tell you this, this, and this.
Before
So
it
I
gets
don't
out.
feel like I'm being targeted on the podcast.
better rat yourself out.
I mean, yeah, I hope you don't feel targeted.
Times. Oh,
No.
It's not. No, man. Anyone that needs to feel targeted is this one.
Yeah. I can take it though. So here's the thing, like a lot of women that I know, people that that the three of us know, um actually get offended. And so I'm going to ask you if you get offended. Now, I'm not talking about like little stuff like this. They're like, well, why didn't you just tell me? Get offended when their husbands speak to other men about major issues. Either like an issue that they're having or like an issue with like in the marriage or like children that they're bringing to other men. They're accountability people.
So
Do you have
we're going now from trivial stuff to the real.
Which
real
is
thing.
the whole point of an accountability. Yeah, it's nice to have. Listen, I have friends. I have lots of friends, but I only have a handful of people in my inner circle, and I don't have applications open for any more because I'm an open person. I feel like if I trust you, get to know you, like I will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I only have a handful of people that I do that with, right? So, do you have an issue with David or Stanton talking to these guys about not trivial, but like core stuff?
no, I'm actually thankful that my husband can go to these guys that we have known, grown, loved, all the things that can pour into him that also pours into me and our children. And the advice that y'all have given him on the biblical manhood, the father, all the things, it has helped us. And I am thankful for that for y'all.
Knew we forgot something. Fox, clean it. over here.
I've got some.
While we're
And
on
don't-
leaves.
And y'all watch it, so y'all know we get teared up. Man, JJ got teared up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wasn't
I love
expecting
his-
that
I
at
don't have to
all.
watch that one yet.
Oh,
Oh.
well, he gets teared up pretty
So-
big time. He about got me.
My wife is very, how do I say this? She is slow on watching the podcast, not because she doesn't try, but every time, and we've talked about this,
Yeah,
she'll get on there and then she'll see JP or me, and she'll start hollering, and she wants me to respond to her like it's a FaceTime
Maggie.
because
Maggie,
she's always
yeah.
She gets so mad.
No,
She's
it's-
like, my thing.
because she'll holler,
Daddy.
and then it's like she's like, I can't watch because I can't hear y'all, so I just have to cut it off.
That's funny. That's
So
funny.
just
Y'all bought
lighten
me
it
a
up a little
few
bit.
minutes.
Well, I mean, I think it really just depends on what it is. Because I think there's some things that when you talk to the guys, like some men, they just bottle everything up.
Mm-hmm.
They hold it in. They don't tell anybody. And I feel like having other men to talk to kind of relieves a little bit of pressure on us. Like they don't just dump it all out. Like they have the men to talk to and kind of, I don't know, guide them and maybe direct them a different route, or I don't know. But maybe if it was something to do with our kids that I wasn't aware of, something kind of like that, then that might kind of.
All right.
So
go ahead.
if it is something about our kids, or maybe we did something stupid that's caused an issue between us and our wives, and we talk about it, it's always suggested that a conversation happens at home,
Mm.
right? Very little have I heard about your boys that you don't know. There's nothing that David has heard, maybe before you've heard it, because he's a soundboard, right?
I
I
get the
use-
softer version.
You get the
Yeah.
way softer version,
Yeah,
right? I'm
Yeah.
like a monkey throwing
wrenches.
stuff at the wall and see what sticks when it comes to David, and then he tunes it up
Yeah,
and makes it look better so that y'all could Palletize
I
it
mean,
better.
y'all are men, y'all
Yeah.
think alike, so you might be able to look at it from a different angle, you
Yeah.
know, kind of soften the
Well,
situation. Yeah.
and I'll say from my point of view is like, so these y'all are older, right? y'all
You
your
like pointing
kids.
that out.
No, hey, wisdom. That's what I'm trying to get.
Brother Tommy says season.
That's right.
Seasoned.
Yeah.
Y'all are more
We're more
seasoned.
seasoned.
I'll start using that more often. That salt and pepper. So what I'm trying to say is so my kids are still young, right? And y'all tell me what y'all, what was good, what was bad. And so when I come to y'all about things, right, then y'all gonna be like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, this isn't gonna matter in 5 years or 5 days or 5 months. That doesn't matter. Like, yes, at the time it feels disrespectful or whatever, but like, you can do this more gently and softly and get a better result than if you came in harsh and lashed them with your tongue,
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think that also helps with my wife is if, like we were just discussing, that if maybe I'm upset about something, but you're like, hey, dude, I'm gonna be honest, like, it don't matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. And so then I can just let it go because I'm like, I can use y'all's wisdom, your seasonedness, and take that and be like, okay, well, if they're saying it don't matter, it don't matter.
I just want you two to know that there's not things that we say about our families that y'all don't know.
Mm.
You may not hear it first because David says I need to be polished, right? David says all the time that I'm JP no matter where I am. And he tells me I need a polished version. You don't get the polished version a lot. If you get a polished version, it's because I've talked to David.
And I
Because he
can
did talk
always
to me
tell.
first.
I can always tell when he has talked to you because he uses language or has a demeanor. I'm like, am I talking to JP here, or is this like David I'm talking to? I'm not sure.
I'm not mimicking what he's saying. I'm just,
I'm in his ear. He's got a little earbud in. I'm going, all right, now say this.
you know, it's just,
Okay, so my first point here is men must bear the burdens of other men. So in Galatians 6:2, the word says, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the requirements of the law of Christ. So I kind of threw this on you, and you agreed. I was actually surprised that you agreed when I said this. So all of our problems are your problems, but not all of your problems are my problems.
true story.
Would you agree to that?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
Why were you surprised that I agreed?
I don't know.
That
I
I
just-
was honest.
I don't know, not that you were honest, but I just thought you'd like saying something other than, yeah. I was like, okay. So,
So I mean, but you're saying that. So here's the way I interpret it. I don't
Mhm.
know.
And it's probably the same way I interpret it.
Well,
Go ahead.
So there's things that I don't share with Amy because call it what you want, label it what you want, but like it's more of a, and some of it may be, well, it doesn't matter
Mhm.
or something like that. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
the silly stuff,
Yeah.
but if it's the serious things, it's more of a protection.
Yeah.
It's out of a protection or a guardian of now's not the time
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's where I'm taking that.
So the way I interpreted it, is that okay? Is our problems or my wife's problems are our problem.
Mm.
We bear them together.
Mm.
My problems sometimes aren't her problems because either A, I know she can't bear them, or B, I don't think she can bear them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's the point. I forgot where I even got this. It was one of the 5011 books that we have. There are burdens in a man's life that his wife can't bear without breaking. I mean, just, um, Stanton, you got anything you want to add to that?
So I say the way I see it, like what you are saying, is there's times that like we were talking about in biblical manhood or in biblical husbands, fatherhood, everything, it's all the same, but we provide and protect. And at a certain point, and I describe it as a roof on a house, right? The kids are the inside of the house, the women are the walls of the house, and the men are the roof. And so we catch the brunt of things and then we filter it down, right? And so there's certain things that I may not like. I don't want to put on my wife, like I'll bear that weight, and not that I'm not trying to sound, I don't know, heroic or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just it's the way I believe it should be. There's the things that should stop at me. When we're in the military, there was things that you had to deal with that I never had to deal with because it stopped at you. You was
Mhm.
like, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna make them do it. I'm not gonna put them through that. And the same thing in a marriage. There's things that hit me, and I'm like, okay, what stops here? I'm not gonna let it roll down. If it's family, if it's money issues, which most of the time we have a clear conversation about it, but there's certain things that I may be like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this. We're not gonna have to worry about this. I don't want to put that on her shoulders because she has enough to deal with kids and the house and everything else.
Well, that's why it's important, in my opinion, for you guys to have each other
Right.
so you can be soundboards off one another so you're not feeling like you're just carrying the weight
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Yeah?
I agree.
Amy, you got anything?
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about godly friendships,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and those.
Yes.
I mean, your friendships matter. I mean,
Mm.
say David has a friend that's a non-Christian, and he listens to his advice
hmm
over you guys' advice. I mean,
Yeah.
it really matters who his friends are.
So I'll say to this because, like, making me think about the testimony we had to write out for this talk or whatnot. But like, there for the longest, I hung around the wrong crowds. I mean, I think we all have at some point, right?
I was the wrong crowd.
Well, but like, there's the old saying, like, you are the sum total of the 5 friends you spend the most time with, right? And so, the more people that I hung around that were not godly focused Christian men, the more I acted just like them, or not, and maybe whether I wanted to or not, spending that time around them made me that way. And so when I wanted to change, I mean, I wasn't necessarily focused or coherent to this, but when I wanted to change and I started attending church and I started getting around those men, then I started to change.
Mhm.
And so I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. I done lost
Mhm.
my train of thought. But anyway, the men, I decided when I wanted to be a certain type of man, I would hang around certain type of men. And so, you know, just like we were talking about, like if I hung around a bunch of guys at work, which, if y'all listen, I love you, but if I hung around some of them, then they would give me terrible advice, like, oh, your wife's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, right? Whether right or wrong, they don't know her that well. They know me at work, that's it. I'm not saying you literally, but they would give me terrible advice. Whereas thankfully, I have men like y'all in my life that know my wife and know, like, hey, you're just being an idiot.
I think I've called you that before.
I know Allison called you
Which
an
time?
idiot that day.
Which time?
I mean, I get called it all the time.
Yeah. That's not
Allison,
completely
I
wrong.
mean, Allison was listening to that episode. Man, that
Yeah,
said
she
she put it
was.
on pause. She said, "Ooh."
Allison, I have grown up. I apologize for my dumb statement.
And I wrote down a couple of verses on that. One of them is Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm.
Mm.
Mm.
And then
Companion of fools.
Suffers harm.
a righteous man is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray.
Mm.
So read the first part again.
A righteous man is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray.
Mm. I would say that we are cautious now.
Mm.
I mean, I'm 48.
Yeah.
Now, in my 20s and 30s, I had a lot of friends, right?
Mhm.
I would walk into these,
Friendly places.
yeah, these where everybody knows my name, right? And they would. They're like, hey,
Mhm.
my dad used to call them fair weather friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to tell Dayton about that. I know you've advised your boys on that. They're your buddies until the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
And then you look around and they're not there. But we have now in my 40s, almost 50s, David's age, you in your 30s. I don't want to say his age because, I mean, I'm not that far.
Time.
Yeah, but I don't want to think I'm making him feel old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
We just drag it instead of just saying 50. We
I mean,
drag it
he's
out.
only 2 years older than me.
He's only what?
He's only 2 years older than
Oh,
me.
I thought you said 20. I was like,
No. But, and you in your 30s, you're
Mhm.
learning something that I didn't learn until my late 30s.
yeah,
Like I was almost 40.
yeah,
The smaller your circle, the better you are.
yeah.
Honestly. That I have a little bit bigger of a circle because she says it takes a whole village to keep me right.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I think she's got something on snitching in here, and we're gonna hear about it in a minute. Because she heard you say something about snitching, she's like, "Mm-hmm."
Mhm.
But I'll say this: a lot of times, and I don't know if I kind of feel like we got to let these women do the talking here, but
You're fine. Go ahead.
yeah, right. uh, these burdens that you're talking about that you're not meant to carry, we're more than likely we are sharing it in some way or another
Yeah.
with our the men in our lives. Like I might not tell him it's a major thing, but I'll be saying stuff, pick his brain.
Well, I mean, what's on
You
your
know.
what's on your heart?
Right. I won't say, man, I'm about to have a nervous breakdown here,
Mm.
or I might, but I'll share and get advice from you, and we're all polishing each other,
Yeah.
right? And it might be something that I do eventually come to her with, but it's in a way she can bear. We'll talk in a way. I'm not going to go to her and fall apart. Does that make sense? I'm not going to just go, I'm losing my mind. I can't do, I'll gather myself together before I go to her with it.
Yeah.
And that's good that when you're able to do that, but most of the time when you guys are carrying burdens, I say you guys, okay, so I'm lumping you all three into one. When you are carrying that heavy burden that you're not being open and honest, what we get is not the open and honest conversation of what's going on. We get the frustration, the anger,
Mm.
everything else poured onto us without really knowing
What's really going on?
what's really going on.
So
So what she's saying is, when I'm not being open and honest with
yeah.
my circle, that's what she gets. Let's
Yeah.
just call it a
Yeah.
turnip
I
and
mean,
turnip.
would you disagree with that?
I'm not going to disagree, but
Okay.
everybody that's watching YouTube knew that's what you meant. So
Yeah. And I mean, that's for us. And I would assume that in other circumstances, it would be similar, not necessarily anger and whatnot for like how it is with you and me. But
So when you get on to us, Amy,
Yes.
and go, why won't you tell me what's going on? Why won't you talk to me?
mhm,
Right?
mhm.
That's because we can sense, we can see it written all over you that there's something going on that you're not discussing with us.
Right.
Mhm.
But now might not be the time. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say it.
Well, yeah.
And then you need to go say, well, then you need to go call Stanton and JP then, and then
Okay.
get back to me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, there are times like most of our irritation is driven by anger or some other emotion, and
And it doesn't come out right.
no, well, and I don't want to tongue lash you or belch words at you because I'm not in the mood right now. I'm irritated or whatever, and so I don't want to be harsh. So I'm like, give me a little bit, let the anger subside, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's probably better that if we called and got polished. That way, maybe if the anger does come back up, it'll be a little smoother.
why is everybody looking at me?
I don't know. You got that.
It's your turn.
Because David looked at me and then everybody went,
I think everybody's trying to figure out what you were looking at.
I'm
All
just
right,
sitting here.
So the next point that I have is men are sharpened by other men.
Mm.
And you guys touched on that last week on your podcast with JJ. Do you know how iron is sharpened? Like, how do you sharpen iron?
I mean, if iron sharpens iron, it's
Gold can't sharpen it.
Mm-mm.
Silver can't sharpen it. Only iron can sharpen iron. So our husbands need Proverbs 18 men in their lives. And if you don't know what a Proverbs 18 man is, look it up.
She's not reading it.
And in order for just our husbands to be able to navigate the world, he needs to have a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Mm.
Yep.
That has some skin in the game. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
You say yes, ma'am.
I said I'd agree. She was looking at me pretty intently there. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Nathan's here. And Nathan listens to this.
Mhm.
Nathan's very supportive of this.
Mhm.
And, you know, I hope I can sharpen on my little brother. But I have men in my life that have gone through some things, and Nathan too with me, that I would consider like Nate. I don't feel like, how do I say this? I feel like a couple of the men that are in my life that have been there, I may have failed at times to be that, to be closer than a brother. I'm going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
One of them sitting at this table. Another one that I've been spending a little more time with here lately. Because I don't understand. Now, with the one sitting at this table, I didn't understand, but I wasn't going to, I gave him some rope. And I wouldn't let him get too far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very mindful when it comes to Stanton, when it comes to that. Because not only have I failed my little brother, but I failed men in my life that I consider my brothers. And I try to learn from that. And golly.
Raining in here, ain't it?
I won't look at them. The more I look at them, I can't see them. I can't look at them because
Contact's falling out.
and so I'm mindful when it comes to Stanton. That I don't fail Stanton like I failed Nathan. And the other two people, one of them I can't look at. It's got hot in here.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
So I kind of break that up. I heard something a year or two ago that it kind of struck me, and it was if you always heard the adage, "Blood is thicker than water."
Mhm.
Well, you have to hear the full statement to understand it. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, and because I'll be honest, as I've grown up, I've kind of not separated, but family has split ways. Like everybody's in their own life and everything, and we've talked about brothers, and brothers are a part of your life. And I love my brother, but there's times that I need somebody that's close that knows me well, and like y'all know me. Like I mean, we may not do life every day together, but like I see you every Sunday. Like we keep up with each other on life, and I mean, well, on Wednesday and whenever. Well, David has unfortunately been plagued with trips.
Yeah.
But he is still there when he is here, and I really appreciate that.
And he's only a text message away.
He
That's
is.
right.
He is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is yes, we have family, but brothers aren't always blood. Like brothers are like that hang tight with you, right? And they stick by your side. And I've really appreciated y'all through this podcast process. Like I loved y'all, and I was close to each one of you a little bit, but through this process we've gotten closer. I mean, we've had to.
Oh yeah.
And not in a forceful like you got to do this or you whatever, but we've had to because of the podcast and trying to be transparent and everything else. And I've really appreciated that because for a long time, and there's another brother that we have in common that I'm trying. I want to be closer to, but at the same time, there's a big age difference for him, and he wants other brothers his age. Well, it's kind of hard because there's not a whole lot of them out there that are his age. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was not at his age. I would have been a terrible brother at that age, probably. And I want to be like as y'all have been for me. I want to be that for other people too.
So I'll go in a little different direction here. I was reading your points before we got on here,
Cheater.
and I really liked the whole iron is sharpened by iron and not silver or gold,
Mhm.
right? Well, like the same materials, like I was going to say like-minded, but the same shared characteristics, iron and iron,
Mm-hmm.
is what sharpens. Iron is full of impurities.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this down.
He's
Iron-
proud of himself.
Iron is full of impurities, and gold is not.
Yeah.
Right. And I said, my wife is the gold. She is. And so, but that's the truth. Like when we talk on this, we understand each other, and it's
Mhm.
because we've, I was trying to think of the, sugar and spice and everything nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're puppy dog tail and what is it, babe?
I don't
What
know.
is it?
Nails. What is it?
I
But,
don't know.
we're-
I've heard it, but I can't remember.
men just carry the same characteristics. We talk
Yes.
the same language. We understand. Our brains are
Our
wired the
brains.
same,
Yeah.
and so
What'd she say?
Men
Men
are
are
from
from
Mars.
Mars,
We-
women are from Venus.
Like you were talking about the impurities. Yeah. Oh, we're iron. We're full of impurities.
right? Yeah, but like our two boys are. I mean, they're entering into manhood now. I mean,
Mhm.
like truly, like responsibilities and stuff, and I felt like when they were younger and just babies and kids and stuff that I really didn't relate to them, but
Mm.
now it's almost like, Amy, I've got this conversation.
Yeah.
I can, I know how to talk to them. She'll get frustrated about something, and I'll be like, I got this, and I can go to JT and Cole and have a conversation with them,
Mhm.
and it's this. I think as they become men, we have that shared connection, same characteristics, even though they don't have the experiences in life. It's iron and
Oh.
sharpen iron,
Yeah.
iron sharpening iron.
Mhm.
I think the point she was also trying to make is not that we can't benefit from the gold in our lives. As David
That's my next
Coined
point.
Mm.
is that our wives can't really sharpen us.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at and I don't mean this in a bad way, so you three ladies don't jump on me and whoop me. But if you look at the comparisons of the metal, each metal is a little softer, a little softer, and a little softer,
Mm.
right? Iron is hard, rigid.
Mhm.
All those other precious metals are softer. And scripture says, and I don't mean this ugly, that y'all are weaker than us.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I don't mean that in a bad way. And so I think that the way I kind of read over it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
not much. That was one of the points she pointed out or something. We were sitting at the table or in our chairs. And the way I took it was, we need iron. We need other men because our wives really, not that we cannot, I benefit from Amanda all the time. I'm not saying that, but when it comes down to pulling the impurities out of us, because that's what happens when you sharpen a knife, right? You get away the chips and all the bad parts,
Mm-hmm.
and good parts come. I
Yeah.
think you meant that we need
Yeah,
men.
well, my next point is men need mentoring from other men. A man's wife is his most effective and ongoing source of accountability in his life. Genesis 2:18 says, it's not good for man to be alone, right? I'll make him a helper. One, you guys have really talked about us being weaker helpers. What's that word that you keep forgetting, Stanton, that you keep telling everybody?
Ezer Kenegdo.
There you go. So every wife, we should be happy to have other men involved in our husbands' lives. We should rejoice in that. So, as much as women, we like to have fellowship with other women, men need to have fellowship with other men. And it's really, I mean, there was a point in your life where you didn't, well, I mean, it's just hard because at the beginning of our marriage, we kind of went into our marriage sort of having a little bit of an establishment of accountability. Or maybe a year or two in.
Yeah, I would say a year or two in. So we started our marriage with me just basically turning my life around.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I did say JJ did set that in motion, and I had some men sort of come around me. JJ, was pouring, and see, he said he didn't pour in, but he was pouring into me. And then David was reintroduced into my life about that time. And then, I mean, I got to think about this the other day. I'm not really sure.
Like how the relationship with you and David started?
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, do you? I mean, it was like, hey, David, you remember me? And he lied to my face. And to be honest with you, the only reason why I knew he was David Knuckles is because Daddy goes, go over there and speak to David Knuckles. I said, which one's David? He's like, that guy right there.
It really, the Lord has just, and that relationship, because I just remember when I first met Amy and David, I'm like, they are so opposite us. They're so quiet and reserved and
Perfect.
Yeah, boy. I'm glad you finally figured it out differently.
But I mean, I had met Brian Piefer before, but honestly, through that, knowing Brian, and then David and I were around each other when we were younger, that led us to Dixie Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really when it started, when we came to Dixie Hills, because then, Michael Williams was involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
God started placing men in my life. Brian Piefer, David Knuckles, Michael Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Williams, Chris Richardson. These men, he started placing these men in my life, and each one of them, it's like a cog in a wheel, I guess, play a different,
Oh yeah,
but similar role in my life.
I get the cog in the wheel because I kind of said it before, like my friends, like I have my ride or die. I got one, if they found out I killed somebody, she would just freak out and start praying and run the other direction. I had one that would turn me in so fast to the police that I couldn't, comprehend how fast that would be. You have to have people that are different from you in your friend group. You can't have somebody that thinks like you, that's just going to sugarcoat everything to you. And so we'll just go on and skip to the snitch. Because I know everybody's anticipating the snitching comment.
Well, I'll say this though, to before because that might take a while and I'll forget my thought. But like, because when I first read that point, I was like, it almost sounded like you were contradicting yourself, because you said men need mentoring from other men, but then you talked about a man's wife is his most effective source of accountability, right? But so here's the way, and I've heard this from a lot of men. I don't know if this is like default for guys, but like when we get married, and it's first when we get married, but then definitely when we have kids, like something a switch flips in us, and we're like, we need to be better men, right? And it's not until, like, if we're just lone wolves, we're going down the wrong path, are we not?
Mm-hmm.
Very more than likely, the majority of the time. But it's like once we get and we say, well, what's the cliche behind a good man is a better wife,
Oh yeah.
a better woman, and it's the truth. Like Amy is encourages me to be a better man,
Mhm.
right? But she can't teach me how to be,
No.
Yes.
but because of her, I want to be.
Right.
And so I don't go to her for that kind of advice. And so that's where the men in my life,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I need guys like y'all in my life, not
Yeah.
not a bad influence, but the positive influence. And so anyway, that was, if it wasn't for her, I know I would be in a bad place.
Mm.
First and foremost,
Because you wouldn't know you had a problem.
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
We
Right.
wouldn't be doing this
Mhm.
if it wasn't for her.
Mhm.
I just want to say that.
She's a sweetheart. Proverbs 31 woman right there. I wish I could be more like her, just so quiet, sweet, and submissive. And
Right.
I don't know if y'all notice, every time she reads scripture, she takes 3 tabs off. She's got a lot of tabs in here.
She's just getting started.
Well, how about this one? Proverbs 15:22. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed.
Mm.
So
many.
men are advisors in his life.
Yep.
Thank you.
See, I notice every time she read one, she's like, flop. And it's highlighted. It's highlighted in the same color too, by the way.
Uh-huh.
It's a different color. It's pink.
No, it was the same color, bro.
Oh.
Trust me. I've been paying attention.
So snitching. What were you
All
going to
right,
say?
so let's get back on track, guys. So we're going out of order, David. So we're going to go to one of the last
yeah.
points.
All right.
Genders, period, tend to listen to things that are spoken out of trust and love. So JP likes to say, well, I can tell Amanda all day long something, and Amy come along and say it, and now all of a sudden it's the gospel. I feel like
Yep.
y'all are a lot like that too.
Mm-hmm. Well, she found you struck a nerve with her there.
Yeah, look.
She leaned in,
She's
put a
already
glasses
noted
on
on
there.
this.
I just wrote down, I said, encouragement from your spouse is almost expected. But when you get it from other men in your life, it feels like you're really loved. And
Well, especially I think depending upon the man's upbringing. I'll take David because I know that he had. Lord, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Like he had. How do I say this?
I don't know. Hey,
say it and ask for forgiveness later.
Not every man is raised with a good example of a father.
Okay.
And so when you become a husband and a father yourself, all you have is to pull from your own experience.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the quote he said last week. Or was it last week or when we were doing Biblical Fatherhood?
it was when Daddy was on. I
Yes.
said that we watched.
Watch Landman.
I admitted that we watched
Yeah,
Landman. We shouldn't have.
And that fathers father their children the same way they were
Yeah.
fathered.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'll raise your son the way that you were raised.
Yes.
And so when there's just more than one or two of you guys, I'm hoping that at least one of the men in the group has had a father figure in their life that was a good example of a husband and daddy. Because, man, this is hard to say. For instance, I love your dad, and he is. I don't remember. I didn't know him when you were younger. All I know is Daddy in love now. But growing up, I think you kind of had a vision of like how you didn't want to be, right?
I mean, yeah. So Daddy came on, and he said that he did not have an example at all. He was not in the home. So that statement, fathers raise their sons the way they were raised. So he didn't know which way to go. And he even said it on this that he didn't always do the right thing.
Mhm.
And we've all been places where he's given a testimony,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I even said on that Daddy told me he taught me wrong on some things. So yeah, yes, but in return,
He
I
made
didn't-
mistakes,
Yeah.
but he recognized it and
later on,
corrected.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So in the same flip side of that coin, I have done the same with Dayton,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I hope Dayton looks at some of the things that I've said and done and be like, you know what? I don't want to be like that.
Yes. But what you can draw from experiences, from each other's experience, is an example of how do I want to say this, David?
So, okay.
Of
I,
how
this,
to how to
this,
positively,
okay.
because if like it's you're in a
I
situation.
know what you're trying to say. David's
Mm-hmm.
dad had a great example.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. David,
Mm-hmm.
your namesake.
yeah,
All right. He was a great man.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Dan, the one we call Dan the man, he had a great example,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so in return, I'm not saying that Mr. David didn't make mistakes with
Right.
Dan, and I'm not saying that Dan didn't make mistakes with David, but he had a good example, great example. In my case, my dad had no example.
Exactly.
So, you know, my dad has men in his life that did have an example, and he has gleaned from that because
That's
he's
what I'm trying to say.
yes, he is 100% different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, he's even said it. He's like, you know, with the grandchildren, they're like, JP would say, "Man, you'd kill us over that."
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, because David's dad had a good example, and I'm not saying that those men were perfect and they didn't make mistakes, but I can glean from that.
Mm-hmm.
But David also can glean from me because I've made that's why Stanton definitely needs to glean from David and I
Mm-hmm.
because and Daddy. I mean,
Mhm.
Daddy said you could even reach out
Yeah.
and talk to him. Yes, that's what you're trying to say.
That's
Well,
what
yeah.
I'm trying to say.
And I'll say like I said this from the first podcast. You know, we were talking about probably the wrong example or whatever, and I've kind of thought about it over time. But and I would, if as David says, there's a lot of things that he did right and a lot of things he did wrong. But like the best advice is what you did right because you know the outcome of what it is. But I would say a close second would be you knew where you went wrong, and you can give me that advice like don't do this. I would have, if looking back, I'd have done it this way or whatever. But it's just as good. I ain't gonna say just. It's almost as good as what you did right, because then I know like, well, we're gonna steer clear of that, and we're gonna go down a different route.
I think sometimes it may be even better.
Well, and depending
the-
on the situation, yes.
The reason being, okay, when it came to my daddy-in-law passing away, this is what I did wrong. I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so don't say nothing. Just be there for her. Hold her. Listen to her. If she's going to sit in the bathtub and cry for 6 months, let her sit in the bathtub and cry for 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
because
I could have said a lot of stupid things.
I did say a lot of
Yeah.
stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to this day, there's two different sides to this story.
I feel like there's a lot of conversations we have.
Well, and yeah, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses too. I mean, my dad, my granddad included. I've had the benefit of, like, my granddad passed away at the age of, was he 93, 92? My grandmother at 98, and so I was well into my years. I wasn't just a little kid. Like, I was old enough to truly understand who my grandfather was and not just hear stories. And I know there was, and my dad and dad shared with me some of my grandfather's weaknesses. And how he recognized those as a father. and how he recognized those and says, well, I'm not going to do it like this. And he didn't, I mean, he made a point, and what that makes, then that teaches me to continue to do that, is to not follow in the bad habits and have these generational curses
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
keep going, but to admit and know, and it's okay that, that we can learn from their mistakes and
Yeah.
learn what not to do. And so my grandfather was an amazing man, but he was not the most compassionate. He did not spend quality time with his, like we would think of quality time with family. He was a working man. He was a provider. He was a protector.
Mm.
And so my dad kind of flipped that a little bit, right? He spent more time with us. But my dad had some weaknesses as well. And so then I've recognized those and been like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do that my dad didn't do for me. And, so I think it definitely helps,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't have a lot of good experiences to learn from, at least you've got, if you'll be humble enough and just say, okay, here's what not to do.
And, I've said it on this before. Your dad is the only man in this world that wants you to do better than what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I know my dad wants me and Nathan to do way better than what he did,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want Dayton to do way better than what I did. Nathan's going to want, because he's going to have 3 little boys,
Mm.
right? He's going to want those boys to do way better than he did. And so I just kind of want to throw that out there, because he is a different man.
Mm-hmm.
And, it is tough to try to be something that you don't have a template or an example for.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was trying to get that point across, but it wasn't coming out quite like I wanted it to.
It's all right.
I appreciate you clarifying that. Just in this room, I mean, between you guys, so David and Amy have been married longer than us, so we can glean from the years of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We have older children, so they can glean from the fact we're a little further down
Mm-hmm.
parenting, and they just get the benefit of all.
Oh,
We're like,
that's
let's
right.
And we are
just
so thankful.
Yeah.
make the mistakes.
Yeah.
And we'll learn from them.
A lot of
Um,
what not to do's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, in that whole point where we want our husbands to be open to each other, right? We need to point out the fact for both of our genders that I would rather my husband talk to David or Stanton or whoever about what is going on with him, our home, than somebody of the opposite sex. So I feel like having a strong accountability group for men and for women benefits us
Mhm.
because, and here we go with the snitch. So there was how long ago was that? Like two years ago?
No, it was a little longer than that.
Was it longer?
We're on 51. It was 41.
That was
So-
faith walk math.
Yeah.
For
So it was,
Yeah.
it was 2023. So we're
we're-
almost 3 years
We're going, yeah, this
because it
fall.
was the fall of 2023.
this fall will be 3 years. But this spring fixing to happen would be 3 years of what you're talking about.
So JP, you were out of town for work for something, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were out of town.
Are you going to tell exactly what it is?
No. And
nervous.
Arms are sweaty, mind is spaghetti.
Like I ain't crying, I promise.
and he calls me or whatever, and we have this. So me and my husband talk about just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure there's things that he comes to you guys about, and that does not bother me, but we have some crazy conversations.
They know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, I concur.
So when my husband's not wanting to open up and talk, then that's like a flag to me. And so I just don't take that to heart and be like, because I've had that failed marriage and I refuse to like let that go down without me swinging. Okay. And the fact that we have support now with a group of people that I feel like Nathan Neal would be like completely on your side if
I don't
things were to
think
go.
so.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm, no.
But I feel like we have a group of your accountability, my accountability that would sit us down and be like, not just think to themselves, those people need marriage counseling, but actually counsel.
I say, hold on. From the early get go, yes. And then later on, I was like, oh, that's just how they communicate. It's all good. I could tell a look on your face when it gets serious. I was like, uh-oh, we'll flip the switch.
Yes, I agree with you, but our people
Hmm.
overlap,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which benefits both of us.
Yes.
But go ahead.
So, anyways, we get off the phone or whatever. That was that night. The next day.
Now, you didn't even wait till the next day. But
No,
go
I
ahead.
think it was the next day because I was at work. I was at home and we had this conversation, and I was at work the next day because I snuck into the bathroom to text Brian and David. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but you got to figure it out. And I think they were Johnny on the spot, pretty
Oh, yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It
got a phone
was-
call.
Am I saying this right? It was like 3 years to the day because I was on my way down to Mobile. If I'm not,
It'd be
is that-
April. It'll be April.
oh,
in
no,
April.
no, I'm getting my
Yeah.
snitches mixed up here. I'm getting my snitches mixed up. But I was,
You were in Mobile.
yeah,
Yeah, with the other company.
yeah,
But it was a few days before my birthday.
right, yeah. But yeah, we acted quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. I mean, in
And then
a
he's like, "Oh, I
situation like
see."
that, I was like, "Oh, something." This doesn't happen all the time,
Mm-mm.
right? You
Right.
don't cry wolf. So yeah, we acted quick.
Very quickly.
So, anyways, and then after he got off the phone with you guys, I got a text. Really, you gonna snitch me out? You're like, yeah.
I was actually on the phone. David had called me, and then Brian waited a little bit and then called me. But unbeknownst to you and me, Brian and David had texted one another.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And he was like, well, I'm going to call him. And he's like, all right, I'm going to wait a little while. And I'll call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you mention this last week? I think you did. So we were coming home. I was driving, and JP said, because like I said, we talk about crazy stuff. Everything usually is hypothetical, which turns into us getting worked up over the other one's response about this hypothetical question.
And for the record, Amanda is the hypothetical queen.
Yeah.
So we're coming home, and he's like, babe, how would you handle that? Like, I don't know what we were
I didn't
talking
ask
about. It was brought up. What
Yeah.
would I do?
You said, we were talking about another situation. And when we talk about those stuff, like I'm low key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to be on the radar. And she was like, you know what I would do? I said, no. What would you do?
I know. I thought you asked me what I would do.
No.
And we were coming under 100 here, and I just kept on driving. And he's like thinking to himself, like, what are we doing? I said, you see that driveway right there? We would pull in that driveway. I would walk up to David's door, and I would knock on it and say, how have you allowed this to happen?
Yeah.
He's like, dang, David's getting in trouble, because I feel like that's the kind of relationship. If you don't have a person or people like that in your life, like you need to find that person,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because he ought to be able to sense something's not right with you.
Yep.
Amy ought to sense something that's not right with me. Even if I don't feel comfortable for whatever reason coming out to her, she ought to be able to see some sort of demeanor change and love me enough and respect me enough to call me out in that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, y'all going down if I go down.
They're going here and knocking
Yeah.
the door. who's here?
Yeah. But I mean, you said, I mean, we've got friends of all kinds.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You got the ones who will bury the body with
Yep.
you. You got the ones who will just go into the corner and pray,
Mhm.
and you got those that will report you.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, those who are truly close to you need to be a little bit of all of that.
Hmm.
You know,
We can't talk about the boy. Came
can't talk
home.
about JT anymore.
I was trying to figure out if he was on camera. He walked by and goes, I was wondering if that was him because of the dog.
Yeah, I looked over and I saw him. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Texting.
But I mean, but the battle buddies, those that are truly close to us, need to be a little mix of all that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, really, but definitely they've got to be the ones who are willing to go down with you, like you said. You know,
You mean kind of like you need a friend says, hey, if I get in a fist fight, are you in? Now, where are we going?
That's right.
I don't need that kind of friend.
Yes, that's right. Right.
And then later on, we talk about why we shouldn't have gotten a fist fight.
In the
Yeah.
jail cell.
Yeah. No, I'm there not asking
The
questions.
fist fight, this
Hypothetically.
hypothetical fist fight never happened, but hypothetically, somebody was down for the call.
That's right. Yeah.
You got anything to add to any of that?
Well, I was just going to say, I feel like our men take correction from each other much better than they would from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
We would get a nagging wife if we're,
Oh, no,
trying
no.
to trying to correct.
I think I don't know. I think it hits different. Like if David says something, it's like I don't know. It just hits different.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why exactly. Without being specific, like specific situation.
I
or
can tell you
something.
why.
You take it
hits
much
different
more
for me.
personally from us.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds less condescending, pointed.
Oh, I mean, really, what, like, it's the unfiltered truth. If I'm saying it, I mean, what's the benefit of me to
Yeah.
even say it in the first place? You know, so I mean, you're getting the straight up answer, but I do take correction from you, so it's not that.
Do I correct you?
And you put way too much. She always says, "Well, I don't want to nag." She always says that a lot. So I have a feeling she calls other people to tell me stuff.
Is she coming with a polished?
Yeah, right,
Well,
right.
Honestly, I joke around about it's less whatever. Y'all have more skin in the game, right? So coming from you, it may sound like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you have a hidden agenda.
Mm.
But if David tells me it's the sole purpose of correction,
Well, the hidden agenda sometimes it's just because we'll benefit from it, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're acting crazy, we want you to stop acting crazy because we'll benefit from that.
well, I mean, I get that.
But David can say you're acting crazy. And you'd be like, yeah, I probably am acting crazy. And it's not going to be bad because what
But
does he have
David's not trying to bend me to his will.
What? So hold on.
Let me get a drink
So
here.
to go with that, I was,
Somebody's
I
gonna
was
have to take a
told
break.
either before or right after marriage, that, like in marriage, both sides have a little bit of manipulation in them. Like I'm trying to manipulate you to get to go for my decision.
Hmm.
I'm trying to manipulate you to go my decision. Right? I mean, am I wrong?
Right.
I don't
We
know.
gotta do
But
that.
whatever I said, Amy start flipping through stuff.
Like, I got scripture for that.
I got you, sucker.
So it may feel like are you just trying to like have your way? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be more like this. And so if I go to David or if I go to JP, the only reason they're gonna tell me yes, no, maybe is for my betterment, not for their betterment. Whereas for when y'all give us advice, it's probably either for both of ours or your betterment.
Yeah.
Like one of y'all were saying. I don't remember which one.
Me,
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that's kind of goes along with snitching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Amy, if she calls Taylor and
Oh,
says,
yeah. So I can just text
right,
JP and Stanton and
And-
say, look,
and
it's your boy.
say, yeah, get your boy, get your boy.
I'm gonna need some context.
Uh-huh.
I need
Need
some
some
context
backup.
before I text. Like, what's your wife talking about?
Mine straight up, I think told it. When you snitch, I think you told it because they both knew when they called me.
When?
I know you did. As a matter of fact,
I'm
they
like,
knew
a lot of the
specifically.
time I'm black and white. Like if I'm calling you for a specific reason to get a handle of a specific situation, here's the specifics.
Mhm.
Like,
I know.
because he
You gave me.
probably is not, he may or
No.
may not be honest. I mean, you're not a liar. So if they
Well-
would have asked you, you may would have told them.
I would have
Thankfully,
told
it was
them.
I mean, I know you were texting the confidential party, but like you were texting Brian and David about it, and not.
No, man,
whole big deal.
Well, as I say,
right.
the whole church
Asking for prayer
directory.
requests
Yeah.
and connect.
Yeah, or like on like the women's.
People just love it when busybodies be like, well, you know what? We need to really pray for Amy Knuckles. She's just going through it. And everybody's like, what's going on with
I
Amy?
seen her with a
Yeah,
flask in
right.
church yesterday. Not that she ever was. Let me
Busybody.
clarify. But
But no, I mean, she did. She texted specifics because when he called me, when they both called me, but the first phone call I got was from David. He's like, "So tell me about X, Y, and Z."
yeah,
And I was like,
You've been talking to my wife.
he
yeah.
said, I done got snitched on. He said, I'm not saying that. And he's trying to be all
But
political about it.
in that moment, were you upset?
Diplomatic.
Like, I can't believe she did this? Or did it ever occur to you, like, you know what? My wife loves me enough and wants
You
this.
mean in the initial moment?
Well, ever. In the initial moment,
until
I'm sure
now.
you were like, I can't believe she did this.
No, I knew. I not once did I think to myself, well, I can't believe that Amanda Lynn snitched. No. What I thought was,
Not in seriousness, anyway.
Yeah.
what I thought was, dang, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal.
Mm,
But she done tattletaled on me.
mm-hmm,
So apparently she thinks it's a big deal.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
So then I had to explain to him
mm-hmm.
exactly what mindset I was in and everything else. And then I had in return had to explain it to Peef. And so I think you reached out to Michael too, because later on,
Mhm.
Michael and I had the conversation. So somebody, either you told Michael or someone else told Michael.
I didn't reach out to Michael. I may have talked to C about it, but
So in the grand scheme of things, at first, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. But then 3 days later or 2 days later, I'm getting a phone call that I didn't deserve.
Mhm.
that you didn't deserve. Oh yeah. You did deserve that call, babe. Sorry. I thought you were saying David's call. You didn't feel like you deserved it.
No,
but
no,
that
I'm
call,
talking
yeah.
about another call.
It was all it was all in what's the word? Providence, God's
Mhm.
providence, right?
Mhm.
Happened just
Mhm.
like he meant for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then both of y'all got a phone call.
It just clicked. I was like, oh.
Yep.
All right, Amy. What else you got over there, sister?
She's got a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
We've
She got some
covered a
good
lot
stuff.
of it. I just wrote down that having other men helps them with their spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
Hebrews 10:24-25.
You got it? Because I got a comment on that. Yeah, based off something JP said in the last episode.
Is it a comment or a correction?
No, it's a comment.
Okay.
So Hebrews 10:24-25 says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Let us not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching."
I was almost going to say, well, I don't need to say it because it doesn't sound like it's goes along with the verse, but the end of it does. Let us encourage one another. You made a comment, and I don't remember the full context of what the conversation was, but you said we don't always need, like we're not leaning on each other always for spiritual growth.
Yeah, I was
But-
talking about the struggle.
but sometimes it's just for encouragement. I think those were your exact words. I wanted to go back and look, but I couldn't remember exactly where it was. And 2-hour episode, it would have been hard to find it. But when I heard that, that struck a chord with me, because I mean, it almost sounds like all we do is hold each other accountable, and but I would say more than not, we're just friends. We're just, and that I guess that's what that's what I pulled out of that comment, was that it's just not all seriousness and spiritual growth and Bible studies all the time, but it's just encouragement. It's being there for each other. It's knowing who to lean on. So that was what I got out of that. So I'll have to look back at it.
You want to make sure you get to the fridge.
Yeah,
right?
come here, son. Come here, son.
You want to be? Hey, he's
Come
gonna
here.
be-
Debut.
he's gonna be in the
Come here.
short. He's
Come
gonna
here,
be in the
get
short.
on
Here we
here.
go.
This is my oldest son, John Thomas Knuckles. This is the one I talk about all the time.
I bet.
Yep.
What do you mean you don't watch it?
He watches the shorts. He
watches
says
the
he.
shorts.
You can watch the whole video.
No.
A lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
Busy.
How long does it take to travel from here to Knoxville and back? Okay.
What's
you,
that?
You ought to be
5 hours.
That's right.
Listen.
You got some advice from a wise 18, almost 19-year-old? You got some good advice for our audience?
Make money. I don't know.
Godly advice.
Well, that's what because we were talking about struggles, because that is one of the benefits. And we do talk about carrying one another's burdens, but it's not just that. It's David and I silly little yearly date that we didn't do this year, to go to the woods. It's me going to Michael's before church and trying to hit these F-16s we call wood ducks. It's me messing around with cows, or asking you to serve in a capacity with me, or just sitting outside of church and talking, and me living on your kids because, especially Maggie, because she's just crazy about me. I don't know why.
You're her P.
I am her P. It's just those things. It's going out to eat, having a burger after we go do things that our wives are serving at. It's not just those things, but because we go and sit in the woods, do all these things, when the bad things happen or when the heavy things happen, we're there.
Yeah.
It's easier that way, right?
So basically, we've
Well, we can't hear you.
we've been married almost 11 years. So a year or two of that,
Yeah, in a month it'll be 11 years.
we were kind of doing it not necessarily on our own. I don't think that they've started. How long? You 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
You guys started out having some sort of accountability, women and men in your life.
A little bit. I mean, I wouldn't say it's. I don't want to call it formal, but at the same time, I don't think it was to this extent, like
Yeah.
to what we are now. I think we had like if she needed something, I needed something, then we could go. But other than that, we weren't seeking it. And I think now, and I say that, like, I feel like it's a gradual. Like, there's not a set line. Like we were talking about fatherhood or manhood, and we were talking about like when did you feel like you're a man, and it feels like a gradual thing. Same thing with our accountability. After we got married, like we did have some accountability, and I felt like over time it's gradually grown more and more. And I don't necessarily know if it's because we sought it or if it's just something that we're just kind of like a rut. You're just kind of falling into and going with it, and you're kind of digging deeper into it.
I think what happens is it's a progression.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all did it earlier in life than what we did it, which is a good thing. which will benefit you. But I think it's because, I mean, we started out and I was just now starting church, right? We didn't, I was going to my dad's church. I really didn't have a church that I served in.
Yeah.
Um, y'all really didn't have a church, you know, not trying to put y'all's business out on the street. Now, y'all were going to Mercer. You were serving in a capacity at Mercer.
Yeah.
And then God moved y'all to Dixie Hills and
Right.
y'all were serving. So I think in the progression of that, because y'all were going in a direction that we didn't necessarily start in,
Yeah.
right? We were kind of in that. Like, you came from, let's just be honest, you came from a marriage where you weren't really in church. You really weren't serving in church. Like, you were going to church with your parents at Rocky Springs, right? I'm not saying you didn't have seasons in your lives and marriage that you didn't go to church, but you weren't necessarily serving. All right. I wasn't doing anything. And then I turned my life around because we started dating in October, and you got November, December, January, February. 4 months later, we're a married couple. Everybody thought she was pregnant.
Hey, I'll be honest. I didn't know about you actually. I found out he got married a month or two after y'all got married. And then he came back and he's like, I invited everybody. I was like, you must have waited till I was out the door before you invited people.
I invited everybody, but he was asking everybody questions and he didn't hear.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Sorry.
I think it's just the progression of things. Because once y'all start going to church, I said, well, maybe Faith Walk, is when it really happened. And I just think it was it's just a progression.
Yeah.
It's when you're moving towards the prize, the mark, and that's just one of the byproducts that eventually, if you're being very intentional about that walk, happens.
Yeah.
Right. When David and I and a couple other gentlemen started on this journey together, he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a closed book. It's gonna take me a while. And I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Yeah.
It took David about 2.5, almost 3 years. A little bit. He would open up a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And
We love you, David.
Yeah. 1 step forward, 5 steps back.
No, you didn't really take a step back. But here's the thing: you took what you could get, and you didn't push for more. But that allowed a natural progression of trust and all that to be established. Now we're 10. I don't know how many years. What year was 9?
Yeah.
What year was what?
9. Faith Walk Jackson 9.
15?
Yeah. I was gonna
Okay,
say.
so
15, yeah. So 10 years.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
10. We're 10 years into this. It's just a progression.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm not saying that some people can't, but you just can't jump into this and be like, all right, I'm going to tell you all my deep, darkest secrets, and you're going to tell me all your deep, dark secrets, and we're going to love each other anyways.
Yeah. But, like for you guys, like, I mean, I don't know. I think y'all's progression is happening not only faster, like I feel like ours or mine was like flatline for a little while, and then it's kind of been this. I feel like y'all's is on a much faster trajectory, but also you're younger when it's happening at the same time. I mean, here we are doing this podcast. I'm 50, when it's happening in my life. So I can't imagine where you're going to be in 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And whose life you're going to affect.
I mean,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Right. I mean,
So-
I just can't wait to see how your kids are going to be because of where you are now at their age versus where we were at their age. I was just a knucklehead, still didn't know
So
what I was
out of
doing.
everybody, you guys have been married the longest here. So you've had more years of without accountability,
Mhm.
would
Yep.
you say?
Yeah. Yeah. We've been married 20 years.
And so compared, okay, this is supposed to be a women's perspective.
That's
here.
fine. I'm going to use the bathroom while you do all that.
I'm gonna be right behind you.
So compare the last 5 to 10 years.
You're right. Don't move.
Would you say that your marriage and or home is different with David having other men in his life, for the better or worse? or the
most
same?
most definitely better. Yeah.
JP, stop.
He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, most definitely better.
Like, how
Um,
so?
Well, I wrote down. I mean, they talk about what they're learning in scripture in classes. They do Bible studies together. They talk about sermons. Amanda sends questions to make us think to our group text. And all this ultimately strengthens our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
With other godly people in our lives supporting us, praying for us. It helps because of the growth in him and our man. I think it helps deepen our respect for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For JP, you
Yeah.
respect JP more?
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
to see y'all leaning on each other and really relying on each other and trusting each other and really, discussing things.
Mm-hmm.
I see God working in all their lives.
One of the things since JP's not sitting here, we can go to this real quick.
Oh,
What was it? Biblical husbands, maybe?
Mhm.
You were talking about submission. Somebody brought up, I can't remember who it was, to be the kind of husband that a woman feels safe submitting to. How was that worded? Do you remember that?
So the way I described it, I think, if it's the one I'm thinking you're talking about, is I was asked about a dating advice, and I said, be the kind of man that the woman you want, that you're striving for, wants. So in the same way, be the kind of husband you want, a certain type of wife.
Yeah.
Be the kind of husband that creates that type of wife. I mean, it's not manipulation, but if you become a certain type of husband, then she's going to want to be a certain type of wife. So she's going to want to strive towards it.
So ultimately, as wives, we want to feel safe, secured, supported, have consistency with our husbands.
wait. Can you start over? Say that again?
There's a bunch of S's. I do know that.
Yeah. Make an acronym for that.
Yes, you do. But you're looking at me like you're not. For those out there, I probably fail in a lot of
No,
those areas.
I'm just.
I know.
It's better for me to look at my husband and
Yes,
say
dear.
these things than look into the eyes of David.
I know. I know. I'm just.
And so it is important for me for you to have men in your life that can grow you in that aspect. You're not the most soft, tender beast south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Beast. So you got on. I agree. I want to. You said stop, JP, when I got up to use the restroom. I want to hear Amy's answer.
Oh.
That's why, and I said good, because the three of us really wanted to do this to get y'all's opinion. Because here's the thing, we were very curious about what you get or what you benefit out of this. And I am not the most tender. I'm not the most compassionate. I'm not the most level-headed. You think about all the great qualities you want in a man. I'm not all those, right? I'm very unpolished, rough around the edges. What you see is what you get, whether I'm in church on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
or walking on the road. And so David is a lot of those things. He's good at a lot of those things. My wife has benefited, I feel like, from him being who he is in my life, because I see how he treats you. He's very, and I could be getting a wrong perception, but my perception is he's very good at those things when it comes to you. And that part of me was broken. Right. And so the reason why it's not as broken is because of David. There were certain things that he and I would have conversations about that I don't want to put out in the street here, but that were, hey, you need to be mindful of this when it comes to your wife. And I was like, yeah. So so I know Amanda has benefited.
Got another list that I need to give you, buddy.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Here we
I'm
go.
just playing.
So I was very curious about your answer because David and I are in the process. I feel like it started before the podcast when it came to 41. I have said on this platform that God used you in my life without you knowing it on 39
Yeah.
or 37.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how our relationship went from me being a Bradley commander to platoon sergeant. And you had given your testimony, and I said this to you, and I couldn't look at you because your eyes fill up with tears, but our relationship went from that to you asking me to pray at your wedding, to your children. I'm sure Charlie will like me as much as Maggie, but
Yeah.
No,
But-
Charlie's going to be Amanda's baby.
Hey, the more food you give him, there he likes you.
but
Amanda already knows that.
the way, I hate to use the word evolve, but the way the relationship went, it is completely night and day.
Oh yeah.
And so I am curious at how Taylor is, but more you, because from 41 to now, I didn't mean to hit that, but we're talking 10 years that David and I have been friends. There's been a lot of hard things in 10 years. And so that's why I stopped. I was curious because that was a question I was going to ask was, do you benefit from it? So I wasn't trying to be funny or anything. That's why I stopped. I
So-
was very curious about that answer.
Can I ask a very similar question? So, in the years from 2020 till now, right? And I'll even say we've been going to Dixie Hills how long?
We didn't
Since-
join until 2021.
Okay, so from 2021 till now, with JP, a lot of other men. I was like, I can go down naming names. I was like, I don't know if I need to, but with all those men being in my life, not just including Dixie Hills, there was other men, right? Do you see a big difference from 2021 till now?
Absolutely.
I was like, I got a little worried. She was quiet. I was like, hey,
How much time we got?
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I've lived a marriage without any accountability. And I have living one with accountability. And although it is time away from you, which you probably need to look at your time management and time away from the kids.
Not going to use that.
Hey, can I borrow that pen? I did write down.
Hey, it's recorded. You can go
No,
back.
it's okay. Forever.
And you're with the kids, and I get all that, having small children, but it is imperative that your husband have other like-minded, because he could have the alternative, which is what I did have, men to encourage him when he's discouraged and not feeling like he's enough. Because, as women, we think we never measure up, right? Because we don't measure up to the Proverbs 31 woman, which she gets on my nerves.
Wait a minute. You
She's-
call Amy that. Now you're saying.
Well,
Amy, get on our nerves.
Amy does a good job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm terrible at Proverbs 31. And so that's kind of like who we have to look up to, biblically as women, as wives, right? So we have a lot of struggles. But what we don't understand is when we look at our husbands, like I look at my dad, and like he was a man's man. Like he was just a strong dude. Like he would cry at those ASPC commercials,
ASPCA or whatever. Yeah.
but he was tenderhearted and things like that. But we don't see how our husbands, for whatever reason, the struggles that they deal with. Like our husbands go out into a world that beats them down, which JP says to me all the time, like I need to be tougher on Dayton because the world's harder on our boys than on our girls. And you'll see the difference once Charlie and Maggie get a little older. It's going to hurt your mama's heart.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I want my husband to whatever struggle that he has, that he feels, that the enemy tries to isolate him. I think you guys talked about that last week.
Mhm.
That is a technique that the enemy does use in our marriage and as individuals is try to isolate you. I want my husband, if he can't feel comfortable coming to me about a struggle, and we've had some hard talks about some hard struggles in the past. I need him to feel comfortable to go to whoever, David, Stanton, Brian, whoever. I need just, and if it were to come to military, it would be a whole another handful of different phone numbers that I have for that. Our husbands need to have one another's backs, and we need to be confident to know like who our spouses are talking to.
Definitely.
And and the same goes for us.
Yeah, and it should yeah, absolutely. That's a statement. It does go both ways. I
Yes.
mean,
Mhm.
because I'll change this a little bit and make this about Amy. But she's not the most like she's introverted, right? She's
Mhm.
shy, she's
What?
timid.
But over the last
What?
couple years,
She's gotten better, right?
Very bold.
You know, but
Yeah.
when we first joined Dixie, we were isolated. We didn't have
mhm,
we were just coming out of our old ways,
mhm,
decided to straighten up and do right. And well, everybody who knew us knew who we were.
mhm,
And so they're like, oh, okay, I don't know what. So we weren't being fully accepted by the church family. Like, I mean, everybody was cordial and welcoming, but that was about it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We weren't really included.
mhm,
And so there was this period of time where we were just in limbo, kind of like, all right, or we're ostracized from our old friends because we're trying to do right, not fully accepted by our new ones. And, and I told Amy, I said, we both have to put ourselves out there and get involved ourselves. And so, and it was quicker for me, but once she finally did, I
Mhm.
was so proud.
mhm,
Like I know some men who probably would be jealous that their wives were going and hanging out with the girlfriends.
mhm,
But I was so proud that she was because I knew it was sharpening her,
mhm.
making her a better person, that she was coming back to me better
Yeah.
because of the time she was spending with the right group.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it kind of the same thing with us, right? I mean, yeah, okay, our time management might need to be improved or whatever. We got to get our balance right sometimes, gets out of whack, but hopefully we're coming back to you better than when we
I
when
mean,
we left.
there was a period of when, like, I mean, weeks would go by of him not, for whatever, everybody's busy, it has to be intentional. So if you're not intentional, I mean, weeks and months can go by, and it's just like,
Yeah.
he's off the chain, he's off the hook. And
Mhm.
when he's off the chain, off the hook, then I become unhinged. And then our whole, it is true. It is true.
I didn't say anything. I'm just looking at you, bro.
And so it's like, I have always felt the benefit. And if time goes too long in between, like, I'm like, don't you need to go do something?
So there is
Hang out with your boys.
yeah, there is some time, if I don't get to spend time with you or Michael or Peef or talk to you,
Mhm.
like this, we're still. I really feel. Let me back up for a minute. I really feel like, and I have mentioned this to you, that I was like, I really feel like we ought to pull Stanton along. Remember me having this
Oh, yeah.
conversation with you.
Mhm.
Well, there's another young man in church
Mm-hmm.
that I feel that way, and I think you and I've had that conversation.
Yeah.
But if I haven't spent time, because there's this year, this time of year, you get real busy. When you were somewhere else, it was a different period of time, but so there's not a lot of conversation going on. Luckily, it's duck season, so I do get to spend time with Peef and Michael. But if I'm not doing those, like say everybody's busy time of the year hits, mine, theirs, yours, it's just like, don't you need to go fishing or,
Yeah.
or whatever? What's David doing this week? Or
Uh-huh.
have you talked to Michael and them? But so I also want to say this. There's some guys out there at the Blue Oval. I was talking about going to North Dakota. You and I have gone and done whatever. They're like, your wife's okay with that? Like, you're gone, or she'll be gone, women's retreat, whatever. Go and do whatever. They're like, you're okay with that? This time of day, you have no idea what your spouse is doing.
Mm.
I'm like, I know exactly what mine's doing.
Mm.
I may not know exactly what she's doing, but I know exactly who she's with. And they may be picking dirty clothes at the Goodwill together, or and I could show y'all a picture. I got a picture, but whatever, they could be, just talking on the phone or drinking coffee together, or I don't know what you women do, but I know that, hey, she's either with Amy or she's with Jamie or she's with Christy. I don't worry. Like Christy went out of town with her one time when she had to go out of town with work. Not one time that I think something crazy was going on. If I'm with David or Michael or Brian, not one time are you thinking I'm doing something crazy.
Well, MD will get you in trouble in a heartbeat.
He'd tell on me. He'll get me in trouble or tell on me.
No, he'll get you in trouble.
And tell on you.
He'll be trying to write checks your butt can't cash.
But that's fun kind of trouble, right? It's not. It's
Yeah.
not
trouble.
right. It's not
Yeah.
our marriage is
Yeah, no,
right.
no.
He'll do stuff to egg me on, and then
Yeah.
but
So, to everybody listening, if there are wives listening to this episode,
Clearly, they better be because they wanted us on here.
exactly.
Right. Tune in. This will be our highest rated one ever.
There's been a lot of
What
comments.
advice would we give them, and or like her and her husband, if they find themselves without any kind of accountability?
that's a question for you women.
Like, what would we say?
For
It's
the
like,
women who are
Their husband doesn't.
hoping a husband had an accountability partner but doesn't.
but doesn't, and or
Continue to encourage him to find said accountability.
okay, and what about for the wife who the husband desperately needs an accountability, but she's jealous and don't want him to have an accountability?
She herself needs to find accountability.
Yes. Yeah. You got anything to add to that?
Because just like men sharpen men, women sharpen women too.
Mm.
And yes, we want our guys to have that accountability, but we also want us to have that accountability.
Mm-hmm. Amy?
I mean, you got to put yourself out there and you got to seek it. You got to want it. I think a lot of men are really timid about opening up to other guys. But I do really think they would benefit if they're willing to put themselves out there. It would strengthen your relationship with your marriage, your family, and everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
So you flip that for both
Yep.
men and women.
Yep.
So I feel like I can answer at least for the guys, right?
Mhm.
Because I do know I have talked to a guy who he told me, he said, I really am jealous of what you guys have because I don't have that. He told me he's on an island. He says just him and his family. He said he doesn't have that, and I know for a fact that he's not involved in a church. Like, I'm not gonna say going to church, but he's not involved. There's a difference, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And you can come to church and sit in a pew and check a box and go home, but
That's not involved.
but if you, I think that's. I mean, I don't know how you could do this, what we're talking about, without being truly connected and truly involved in other people's lives in a church.
Well, so I'm glad how you the way you put that, because so that's why it's happening so fast for them, right? They're involved in the church. They're serving in the church. You articulated that very well. It didn't happen in my life. Well, we know why it didn't happen in my life. Y'all were serving, y'all were serving when we got there. I think that was when the men's DT class were too. So you were teaching one, you're teaching one now. But I mean, let's be honest, you were a brick wall, right? You really were.
Yeah.
I can say that because I had to take it down brick by brick. But there was a lot in my life that you had to push through.
But I think serving together is a way to slowly start trying to make
Well, that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
connections and like finding little things that are in common. Like if you're just coming to church on Sunday morning and then leaving, you are gonna be that lonely person on an island because you're not making any connections. You're not meeting people. You're not just coming in the kitchen on Wednesday night, shooting the breeze about whatever, to where it would strike up conversation. I mean, I'm not going to just go up to a stranger and just be like, bleh,
No, I mean,
and it's uncomfortable. I mean,
Right.
For you and the other person who's like,
yeah, right. Yeah.
But what's your name?
yeah.
Well, it is a relationship, period.
Yeah.
David's pointed out on several occasions that all three of us are in different connect classes. We sit on different sides of the church, they go to the same men's class, but I no longer go to it. It's not that I don't want to support the men's class. I benefit. We spend a lot of time apart during the week. And so on Wednesday night, it's just nice to sit there. Plus there was another reason, which I was completely transparent with you about, which I didn't have to be because you know me, you already knew. But
Well,
But you needed to say it.
it's not just about relationship. It's all, I mean, it is. It's investment.
that's one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Like Amy, more so David, or more so than David, like is invested in Allison. Like JT, like I could feel like I can, like if he were to mess up, like I could like get on to him about
Oh,
him
yeah.
being
Yes.
stupid.
Oh.
And Cole, like I've had him ever since he was, that tall, like in class. So it's like it's skin in the game. Like it's almost like
Yeah, I get it. And I mean, let's just be honest, you popped Maggie on
I
the
did.
rear end before.
I did.
Right. I mean,
You already
You
know.
see, we're really concerned about it.
no, I'm not. I was just kind of
Yeah.
mainly because we're recording
Yeah.
anyway.
Not corporal punishment. It's just
But well, I mean, she does.
Question
She-
is, did it
That's so
crack her?
I don't know.
oh, Stanton, you got your hands full, brother.
but we are investing in,
Yeah.
we're invested in peace girls. Like, I know what's going on in their lives. Not so much now. I mean, I know through Peace what's going on in their lives. We're invested in Michael and Christy's kids. I feel like I honestly feel like if I saw JT doing something real stupid, I could slap him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yes.
David's
good.
like, that's all you
Please,
did?
please do.
And
David's like,
yeah,
seriously?
I know.
You too.
I mean,
Well, I
and
mean,
Those
speaking
are the
of like
kids I'm worried
children,
about.
I mean, like, so Michael and Christy, like, their girls have gotten married. We do need to be better about discipling
Yeah.
these young couples. You know, that's, I mean, the enemy's attacking them right now as we speak. Because I mean, I remember when I was young, married for the first time, and like we had like nobody. It was just like us against the world, and we
Mhm.
all know how that worked out. So
I try to do that. I'm not saying specifically
yeah,
because I ain't trying to put no names out there, but I had an opportunity. Me and Brian had an opportunity to sit down with a young man and eat breakfast. And I mean, we weren't.
it makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't talking about, well, this is what the Bible says you ought to do, but we were just
Hmm.
enjoying his company. He was enjoying our company. He's quite a bit younger than us. He's like
Mhm.
30 something years younger than us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do.
Old man.
But I see the value in that to, pour into.
The next generation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can I can I
Yes.
you said what can we do to encourage either side, husband or wife, to get into an, I mean, not, and I don't want to use accountability group, but a group of either men or women that can hold you accountable, but also invest and have a relationship in life. And I think either way, whether it's men or women, if it's a woman wanting her husband or a husband wanting his wife, then do it yourself. Like, not for them, but do it yourself. Get in a group, and then after they see the investment in the relationship, what?
Okay, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. So whether either way, husband to wife, wife to husband, do it on your own and invest in a group, right? And then when they see the relationship and the camaraderie that you have with them, I mean, like we were talking about jealousy, like they're gonna want that. Like I know if Taylor had a group of faith walk women she was close to, and I would be jealous and be like, I want that same thing. I want that camaraderie with men. And so,
Yep.
because I mean, like she was in Faith Walk before I ever got in Faith Walk, and then when I walked through the door, it's like, oh, I know so and so and so and so, and I'm like, who are these folks?
Yeah.
And so,
And a lot of people were keeping their eye on you, son.
yeah, they were. And so, oh yeah, there's like, if you heard her, I was like, just don't worry about the rest of your life. But anyway,
I had a list of people that had my back.
That's right. Yeah.
but like, and I hate to say it's good jealousy, but at the same time, it's a productive jealousy. But I wanted that same thing. So I started serving in Faith Walk, which led to me meeting, which I mean, I knew you and I knew David, but I met a lot of other men that also invested, JJ being one of them. And maybe not all times, but like when we served Faith Walk, he would invest in my life. And so I think the more, like, if you want that, then show it and what it can look like. And then I'm not going to say it's 100% of the time, but I would think majority of the time they're going to want that same thing.
So I guess I have to answer it since you two did, huh?
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, everybody turned and looked at me as soon as you got done talking.
What you got to say, JP?
So for the men, how I would encourage is, so when I got my life right, I had a group of friends that no doubt had my back in certain things. They weren't fair weather friends.
Mm.
But when I changed my life, we were definitely going down two different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them said, I went from one extreme to the other. Right. I went from craziness to trying to change my life. And, so that wasn't working out.
Mm.
I couldn't go to them. Now a couple of them have changed their lives. They go to church, they serve in church, but I mean, the way that life went, I see them, hey, how are you doing? But we had different paths. So it is important because we talked about this. Who are you getting your advice from and what viewpoint are they giving it to you from?
Mm.
Are they giving it to you from a worldly view or a biblical view? And that matters. That matters big time.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
mean,
huge.
it's
It's
huge because if it's the world is telling you, JP,
do what you
she's
want.
crazy.
Yeah.
Get on out of that marriage or
You've
whatever.
been divorced once. What's another one?
What's another one? A biblical standpoint is this is a covenant and you need to figure this out, whether it's counseling, whatever.
Yeah, you need to bring them eyebrows down, sister.
I'm just saying it makes a difference.
It
Who
does.
your
Mhm.
mat carriers are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would just encourage them to seek that out, whether you're in a marriage or not. If you're a young man who is a Christ follower,
Mm-hmm.
you need to seek that out. And in that last episode, me personally has worked better as a circle, right?
Yeah.
David has different men in his life that are a different cog in the wheel. I have different, you even talked about my circle overlaps your circle, which
Mhm.
overlaps his circle, and they kind of touch somewhere, right? It has worked better for me to get men of different ages and seasons in life
Mm.
to sharpen on me, and I can glean from, and they can glean from me. Now with women, I think it's just as important because the enemy hates family.
Mm-hmm.
And so women need other women to pour into them, to encourage them when they have littles and they're at home being a mama while daddy, I mean, that could be a lonely life, right?
Nuts.
And then you need to learn to say no.
No, you got loud on that one.
I'm just, you do. You even said you did.
I'm just gonna remind you that later on you're gonna be like, "How you gonna say no?" Like, you told me I got to learn how.
Well, not too long ago, I was like, you're going to have to say no to something, right? And then and the only reason why I say that, you brought that up.
Mhm.
Did he not?
I did,
You need to learn to say no.
and then y'all said, "Well, when you figure that out, let me know."
I did. Yeah,
He did.
I did.
I can say no. But
But with
the reason why you need to say no, hold on, is time management, because you do need to glean from Casey and whoever else in
Yes.
your life. She needs that for her life, but
Mhm.
I'm not good at. We're in different season than both of
Oh,
y'all,
yeah.
really, but I'm still not good with my time management.
Mhm.
I mean, there's scripture on the wall that says, "Don't let technology drive a wedge in our family," or something like that. And it's Psalms or Proverbs. I don't remember because
You're playing your game.
no, I don't play it as much. But women need that. Women need that. You haven't been through a divorce, and we're going to keep y'all from getting a divorce, right?
Amen.
If I got,
Amen.
we gotta lock y'all up in a room.
but there's people, there's people in your lives,
You sure you wanna
Tay,
do
that
that?
have been divorced and know the scars that carries and the trouble that carries into even another marriage, even if it's a godly marriage. Women need that, because just as much as the enemy wants to isolate men, he wants to isolate women. He wants y'all to think that y'all aren't worthy, that you don't deserve, whatever. So I don't really know how to encourage y'all, but I can tell you need it.
Mhm.
And I like what you said. You said one time, and that's basically what you were saying, is if you want it in your home, you do it,
Mhm.
right? If you want accountability in your home,
Be the
or
first.
confessor,
Mhm.
right? So if you want your wife to have a sisterhood, you need to go out and find a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And most of the time, those two circles are going to overlap. I didn't mean to put my hand on you. You look like you was fixing to fight.
No, I thought I was like, man, I was like, JP's real gentle. He didn't say, hold up now, hold up.
Because we got proof.
Well,
That was better than.
Oh yeah, that was better than a hand to the face. Like, oh.
I didn't want it out there in the interweb.
if there is one woman at this table that needs accountability or support, it's going to be Taylor needs it more than us, because she is in a different season of life. And although, like, me and Amy can remember 20 years ago that season, I think being a stay-at-home mom and wife to littles in itself can easily create a circle.
Mm.
I mean, we got Fran who's staying at home, Hannah, and I think that is something that isn't always tapped into. Like, you guys have instant what's the word I'm looking for? Like, common
Commonality.
ground,
and
Mhm.
you know,
support. I
and
mean, yeah,
struggles
because they
and
know the struggle because they're living
yeah,
the same struggle.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it
anyway,
can be isolating,
oh my
you
God.
know.
It is isolating,
I mean,
and
I told
that was
Fran,
her first honest. I mean, the first thing she said was, you know,
I'm at
the
home.
struggle.
Yeah.
That, I mean, she's happy, but she also wants them home
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
for good reason.
I mean, I told Fran, I was like, we went out to eat last Sunday, and Gaby was, you know, on her, and Sammy's on
Mm.
her, and you know, she's got this pregnant one, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh. I said, how? And she's trying to homeschool, you know, they didn't do that up north, and I'm like, how are you gonna do this? And she's like, I don't know. We're just trying it out to see, because I'm thinking now we got a farm and a baby coming, and I'm stressed out. But she's like going with the flow. So I think it is a very isolating life. I could not be a stay-at-home mom. Like, even when I had surgery and my children were grown for the 6 weeks I was off work, I was like, I'm so ready to get back to work. I'm just not good at that. It is a calling,
Mm.
especially homeschooling is a calling. I could barely even sit down with the kids for spelling at night when they would come home. It was awful. So I think more than we all need it, but stay at home moms with littles, homeschool moms, like, you guys is where it's at. Like, it's a calling, it's your mission field. That's where you're serving your kids, your family. So, anyways, for all you moms out there that stay at home, Taylor needs some accountability.
Mhm.
Let's get up a group, guys. Give us a day at a time. We'll all just get together.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
if you get weird phone calls, I apologize.
Well, fun fact, I don't answer numbers I don't know. So.
Yeah,
You better text ahead of time.
yeah.
What else you got?
That's pretty much all that I have, unless you guys have anything. David, you have any questions?
No, it was a good episode.
She said it was going to be the shortest. It ain't.
No,
What is
right,
it?
Yeah.
You went longer than I did.
Well, it'll be all right.
So before we get off of here,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have any question for the ladies,
Mm-mm.
do you? Dang.
JP, do you?
Well, I mean, I did hear Amy's and yours. So I guess I don't really have a question. I have more of a statement
Mm-hmm.
that I hope that both your families do benefit from it.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, why even do it if you don't, right? I know my wife benefits from it because she tells me to go find y'all when,
Mhm.
you know, like, hey, go. So I hope honestly that your family's benefited from it. I hope your boys recognize it. I hope your children one day will recognize it. My kids do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Allison, she knows her mama's going to tell on me, or if I do something, David's going to catch hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dayton knows that I have the group, and I think, you know, he knows the reason why I am softer than what I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is the men in my life, the way they treat their wives, or the way they view life through a biblical point. So I hope y'all's answers were honest, that your families do benefit from it, because I am a knucklehead. I'm pretty rough. So, is that it?
That's all I got.
All right, we're gonna do something sometime. Whenever we get an opportunity, that it's David's turn.
Yep.
Whenever he gets an opportunity next, no pressure.
Well,
No, I'm not going to even say when we're going to do it.
I was gonna say we're gonna be gone next weekend.
Yeah.
You're traveling this week.
Yeah.
So
I
no
got
telling.
I got the guest speaker lined up, so we just got to nail down a date to make it work.
I don't know when that. So you're going to be gone. You're going to be gone. So I may put something out in the
A little
world.
freestyle
I may not.
solo episode.
I know someone that.
It'd be Amanda and JP episode.
Well, she's chomping at the bits for that.
Can you imagine JP on an episode by himself? He could argue with himself, correct himself.
Marital counseling with JP and Amanda.
We'll have to have a call in.
Call-in show.
Call in.
Oh,
Next
goodness.
caller.
or
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
or
You better set up the collars.
or well, I guess I could take this tote with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either I'm going to do something just to keep things going on the
Mhm.
platform, or we're going to go to every other week,
Okay.
just because I think it would be easier in your life
Mm.
and David's life.
And Taylor pretty much said that.
Yeah, I heard her.
Yeah.
She needs her husband at home.
Yeah.
Well, and
I do love y'all, but I love my husband more.
That's
I
right.
would
That's
like him
fine.
to be present.
and it can be more taxing on you too. So I will publicly apologize that I was going to hold us to one episode a week.
Hold us hostage.
It
No,
doesn't
You
seem
guys,
like
but
that.
you guys at
it's
one
good.
point
No, it
talked
has been.
about, that line of
Yeah.
time management before.
And we
Yeah.
did. And for a while we were able to do once a week.
Mhm.
Your life's getting a little crazy this time of year. I heard what your wife said. Iron sharpens iron, so spend a little more time at home. So again, I don't know. We're not going to stop doing this. It may be every other week.
Mhm.
It may be me and Amanda. It may be, I don't know.
Yeah.
If y'all are okay with that, and then if it gets to a different season in our life where we could do once a week, we will.
Yep.
So I just wanted to put that out there. You and I kind of had a conversation today. I've got some ideas, but we started this, the three of us, and before I do anything, I want the two of you to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to replace y'all, and I'm not. I just have a little extra time on my hands.
Well, I mean, everybody's life is a series of ups
Yeah.
and downs
Ebbs
and
and flows.
busyness, and so you put three people together, and they're not always in sync. The ups and downs aren't in sync, and so yeah, it's just right now it's crazy.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And again, before I do anything,
Take a picture. We'll do one. We'll figure out how to do this. We'll do our own. Just the girls.
I'll set it up for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be the one that has to edit it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Can edit. I've done that before.
oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yes.
There you go. On Riverside?
No, not on Riverside.
It's
It
pretty
probably
easy.
won't be too much.
It's pretty easy.
Get staying home.
We did
washed
it the
up, and
old
come
school
hang out
way,
with
so.
us.
Yeah, the
Build it back.
YouTube.
Like
Yeah.
Charlie, you're gonna have to figure out how to walk because we're gonna have to hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
So, who knows what is going to happen? You're at least going to get one every other week.
Mhm.
You may get one. There may be an unplug.
Yeah.
Every other week.
Just have to
This
wait and
thing's
see.
evolving, and
So where it goes?
then again, we may decide to hang it up. I don't know.
No.
No,
I don't think so.
Whoa,
No.
whoa.
Did
It's
JP
not
say
getting
that?
hung up.
No. No.
I'm just saying, you never know. All right. So Amanda wrote in big letters over here that I need to pray. And then, do you know how to say our tagline?
Rock
Ooh.
a sock.
All right. So I'll pray, you say it, and then David will say his little thing before we leave. Yeah. You gotta have it, man. All right. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we just come before you. First of all, we just want to thank you for the people that are in our lives, Father, the people that keep us on the path, Father. Father, thank you for our wives and what they mean to us and what they mean to one another, Father, and thank you for our families. Thank you for the willingness that our wives had. One was more willing than the other two, but thank you for giving the other two the courage and the ability to speak. Father, we can learn a lot from our wives. But like we said, we do need men in our lives, and they need women in their lives to sharpen on one another, Father. So I just pray that everything that's said during this episode edifies and glorifies you and your Son. And I pray that someone can take or glean from this process. Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to be able to get the time to be able to sit around and laugh and joke and talk about serious things, and mostly just get to talk about you and what you do in our lives. And we just ask these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Man.
Rock Krasak. Krasak?
No, Cuzzock.
Kasak. Rock Kasak.
Be strong and courageous.
Peace out.
We don't know what we're engaged with. Did you know that you have the armory of heaven? That you have everything you need for life and godliness to push the enemy forces back? And so when you hear Kasak, your knuckles spiritually should immediately turn white, and you should find yourself gritting your spiritual teeth with a belligerence against the enemy. He goes down. There are souls